A big night indeed. Mercedes, what do you expect? You've been in the room helping to draft a speech like this. You have a president who has gotten an awful lot done in just 43 days or so, but also has an economy that appears to be slowing down a little bit. A lot of concerns about the price of eggs and other groceries and inflation. He inherited that from Joe Biden. What's his message, do you think? What should it be to the American people about the days ahead?
Well, there's two messages here. One is to the American people and saying that his agenda is working, that he was able to move forward quickly in terms of reducing the number of illegal immigrants coming through the border. He's honing in on his basically in a strong position for the United States, not only domestically, but also from a foreign policy standpoint in his tough negotiations with Ukraine and with Russia.
Trump.
With that being said, I think he's also going to be talking about his investments, the $1.7 trillion.
I think you got that backwards there, Bucko.
Manufacturing jobs to America. This is about the renewal.
We just got rid of the gangsta.
That is the theme. He's also sending a message to Congress, which is we got to make sure that we're able to get this continuing resolution done before there could possibly be a shutdown. We need to ensure that that one big, beautiful budget reconciliation bill gets passed because otherwise you're not going to be able to continue the work of DOGE, the work of ICE, also of the Department of Homeland Security. So I think he's going to be sending two messages, one to the American people, one to Congress.
One to Congress. And that one big, beautiful bill, Daniel, would have an extension of the Trump tax cuts, no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security recipients, a lot of important pieces in terms of his economic agenda. But DOGE was just mentioned as well by Mercy. Elon Musk is in the House.
Guys, coming up, we have Donald Trump addressing the nation. Here we have Miss
term, and to great success.
You can see the cabinet kibitzing there.
There we
in
go.
terms of that success, Daniel, let's not forget that in the last 24 hours as well, we've seen Honda announce that because of the tariffs against Mexico by President Trump, they don't want to build the Honda Civic in Mexico. They're moving those jobs, that production line, to Indiana. That means more American investment.
And we had the Taiwan semiconductor company have that announcement.
$100 billion.
And especially, I think people in Taiwan are going to be looking at this speech and say, hey, if China invades us in the next few years, can we count on the U.S. to have our back, or are we going to be left out in the cold like some Ukrainians feel today?
Well, I think one of the interesting lines that he's going to bring up, President Trump, is saying, I will also take the historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earth here in the USA.
Yeah. Well, I've been hearing from people inside the Trump White House that what they're exploring is that we might not need to go to Ukraine to get these rare earth minerals. We have some of these in America.
Nevada is a huge state.
But environmental regulations and left-wing policies, Senator,
and the fact that they're on federal
have
land
prevented us from getting in there.
Well, no, it's been prior administrations because these minerals are on federal lands, and they have taken them off limits for any kind of mining operation. The president can go through the process of trying to change that.
He's also going to be addressing the issue of law and order, what's happening in the cities and towns. And this is, I think, going to be reflected.
Democrat-run cities.
And the fact that the president, they're able to invite 24 guests to sit in the First Lady's box. The Speaker of the House also invites 20.
Democrat-run cities are absolute doo-doo holes.
And then each other member of Congress may invite up to one guest. And this was a tradition of inviting guests to the State of the Union, or in this case, the address
They
to the
keep
joint
the
session of
schools
Congress,
dumb.
which
The
began
people keep
under President Reagan. Again, you mentioned
electing them.
Well, and to that point, I think an important.
They just don't know any better. They don't know enough to do a little bit of research.
A firefighter was killed. His widow and children will be here.
President of the United States.
That is the House Sergeant of Arms who makes that announcement.
There he is.
Mr. Donald John Trump. Man, the Democrats must really hate this dude. He's the rich billionaire with a beautiful wife. He defied everything they threw at him, all the lawsuits, fake lawsuits, January 6th propaganda.
Republican members on that side.
This is not normal.
Point a moment ago. Boy,
Look at this person trying to hold up a sign that says, "This is not normal."
The party usually shakes your hand.
They shake your hand, and they fight for those seats. I mean, those seats are not assigned. It's you have to get there hours and hours and hours ahead of time. And if you get up and leave, you don't keep your seat. I mean, someone else will take it.
There was that woman with one of the congresswomen basically holding a sign saying, "This is not normal." You saw on the other side one of the congressmen take that sign away from her. This could be the beginning of somewhat of the protest coming from the left. But I got to tell you, what a warm reception. You could tell on the Republican side, there is pure excitement. And this is
What was that? This is not normal.
Embracing her.
Democrats are so pissy right now. They're being defunded by Doge.
His speech.
All of the money they've been stealing from everybody.
And talking to these members.
And he's surrounded by Steve Scalise, of course, and other House and Senate leaders. Yeah, John Barrasso from the Senate.
You have to wonder when he was in all of those New York court hearings, thinking, hey, I could be giving a speech in a year or two, a packed Congress. That is, you don't really see that very often.
Will I be giving a speech to a joint session?
And Chuck Schumer standing there in the aisle, neither of them embracing or talking to the
Yeah, there's Ed Markey from Massachusetts, not shaking his hand, not reaching out.
There would be ads cut by
Ed Markey
primary opponents
just standing there
if you saw that
with his
debate
hands crossed in front of him.
But this used to be something where you could reach out and people from both parties would talk to one another. But look at Adam Schiff right there. He used to be a House member, now a senator.
Yeah, Adam Schiff, you're
Basically
going to
had his back
prison.
turned to the president of the United States, and they're basically just
You're going to prison, kid. Get
amongst
ready.
themselves and not even turning to
No,
this
no, they're
president.
deliberately ignoring the president.
And
It's
that's
a
not.
deliberate,
It's not going to play well in
no.
Middle America.
No, I mean this is not a partisan moment.
There's a
The Democrats have not figured out
House and
people
Senate,
yet.
Justice Kennedy, this is a moment.
They got a
where
bunch
the
of
country comes
policies that
together
are absolute
and reaches
trash,
conclusion and,
absolute
we show
garbage. They
respect
use
not for him, but for the
propaganda.
office. That's always been the case, and not a.
Propaganda is geared towards weak-minded people who don't know enough
Yeah, well, now he's embracing
to even
military
test the information to see if it's propaganda.
We're fired.
He has reshuffled half the military leadership.
So these are all new folks.
We're going to need a seating chart to figure that out. We do know that Defense Secretary Pete
God bless
Hegseth, as we've
America.
noted before, only got in by one vote.
Thank
He's
you,
already reshaping the
James.
military. There is Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, wearing the Trump was right about everything hat.
That's right.
Now you hear a chance of USA, obviously, and you can see the Speaker of the House and the Vice President are excited to see the President. Let's listen in.
Oh, yeah, she's all smiles. She's like, I'm back, bitches. I wonder who's sitting next to her. Hey, this ain't no movie theater.
Thank you.
Come on, Trumpelstiltskin, let's turn some of that straw into gold. Wow, she looked like a deer in headlights.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance,
Look at this.
the First
It's all
Lady
Republicans
of the
back there.
United States.
That's the way it should be. I'm not a Republican, but I am 100% anti whatever has taken over the left, whatever has taken over the Democrat Party. We need to get it out of here.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Look at the Dems. I just want them to
6
split the
weeks
screen.
ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Absolutely. Oh, he needs to look over at the Dems when he says that. Look at Elon. This is what winning looks like. Throw your hat to the crowd, Elon.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum.
My heart goes
is
out
back.
to you.
Our spirit is back. Our pride is back. Our confidence is back. And the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all
Absolutely.
7 swing states, giving us an electoral
Karine Jean-Pierre.
victory of
Karine Jean-Pierre was trying to say there wasn't a mandate. Oh, look, they got little cards, little circles. Looks like a little stop sign they're holding.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Drown him out. Drown him out. This is what I'm talking about right here. Dems ain't nothing but disrespectful.
One counties in our country, 2,700 to 525.
Oh, yeah, he's like, get him out of here.
Completely red for Republican.
He's putting it in their face, man.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country
This is what the Democrats want to show.
than the wrong direction.
This is what the Democrats want to show. You guys just got obliterated in an election,
27 points
and this is how you want to display yourself to the country. Arrest them. Arrest them.
Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded. A
Yep, get 'em out.
1-point jump.
Get them out.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Get them out. Get them out. Arrest them.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Absolutely. You want to disrupt a meeting, a session of the government? Guess what? That's jail time. Lock them up.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage
Take
in willful
your
and
seat,
constructive
biatch.
disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Remove them. Let's do it. See ya. Look at his tie. His tie says "We the People." He ain't got no clue about we the people. We the people elected him. He has the floor. You sit down. You shut up. Get him out. That's disgraceful. That is disgraceful.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr.
Let's see. Who's next?
Thank you.
Who's
Over
next?
the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many.
I love it.
What makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that?
How about that?
But we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed
Wow, and he cleaned it up.
Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my
Dang,
voice
Melania,
and they
you need to
chose
stay standing.
not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history,
Absolute worst.
thousands of illegal
Fascist.
crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them
Traitors.
or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
Nope.
I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy.
And they would
in
say,
history,
he's not a
or the
doctor.
stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
I love that he's calling them out. I love it. You're a bunch of dirtbags.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America?
J.D. Vance
For the
is
good of our
cracking up,
nation,
dude.
Let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Oh, man, is that a bottle? Was Nancy just chugging the bottle? Nancy's half in the bag. Look at her.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the
Oh, he's looking right at the
change
Dems
America
here.
needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Let's get our house in order.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt
Man,
World
Democrats just look
Health
like sick people.
Organization. and I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Yeah, stay seated. He took your unions right out from underneath you, you idiots.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
It's absolutely insane that somebody would have to be standing up there saying that.
And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me.
Like me. How'd that work out, he says? How'd that work out? Not too good. Not too good. Look at these guys. How'd that work out? Not too good. They say false. You're right. It is false. It did work out pretty good.
In America, it's back.
These guys really are a bunch of propagandist morons.
English, the official language of the United States of America.
That's another thing that's weird that somebody would have to do that.
The Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's see if the Associated Press reports on that now.
And likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
McKinley's back, baby.
We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire
DEI makes you
federal government.
DIE, especially the ones working on your airplanes. Oh man, why would they show her?
We'll be woke no longer.
Woke no longer, baby.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
Abso-frickin-lutely.
You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The Supreme Court is just not allowed to
poison of
do
critical race
anything.
theory from our
They
public
just
schools.
sit there.
And I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Again, absolutely insane that somebody would have to stand up there and do that.
I also
The
signed
Democrats'
an
main
executive
thing
order
is to create
ban
confusion.
men from playing in women's sports.
Again, absolute everything that he's talking about, it is absolutely insane that any president would have to even declare any of this.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was
she's breathing pretty
like she's never seen
pretty
before.
heavy and
She's
quick
never
right
seen
there. Is she
anything
gonna
like
pass out?
Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose
all their
federal
funding.
You
hear that, Maine? Do you hear that, Maine? Somebody tag the governor of Maine. Maine wants to fight it out in court. Trump was hoping he'd have one idiot that would actually do that and create a precedent.
Just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Democrats don't want to hear that. Look it. Look, I'm on camera. Turn your head. They can see I'm hammered right now.
Is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control.
Yes.
The price is out of control.
Chicken killer.
Hard to get it back down.
Chicken killer.
Do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job. A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
A national energy emergency.
As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Drill, baby, drill. Republicans should just stay standing. Why are they even bothering sitting down? They're gonna.
My administration is also
destroy
working on a
their
gigantic
knees.
natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that.
Not billions,
It will
not
be truly
billions,
spectacular. It's all
trillions.
set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Who needs Ukraine, huh? Who needs Ukraine? Hey, by the way, let's start investigating all the money that got sent to Ukraine.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
There he is, the Doge man. Look at Dems. I have to be here.
Thank you, Elon.
Why did they even show up?
He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
Nobody knows what that
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+.
Dude.
In the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
Seriously?
This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created decarbonization of home committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting.
You going down?
Lavish fish monitoring.
Stacey Abrams is going down.
Voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social.
Dude, what are they doing with our money?
$14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. under the Trump administration, all of these scams. And there are far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of
all Democrat funded
young people headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Come on, Elon. I want to see him throw his heart to the crowd. Come on. Give the Democrats what you want.
And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 100.
Oh, man. Oh, I got a commercial. Dang it. Come on. Let's get back to Trumpy. Trumpelstiltskin. Let's spin that gold, baby.
130 to 139. 3.5 million people from
He's looking right at them while he's saying it.
And money is being paid to.
Oh, come on. Sorry, guys, we got a little bit of a lag here. See what I can shut down.
Many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck.
Good luck. Just start arresting people, Pam. We're not doing good here. Come on.
To find it, but a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps.
Oh, come on.
Keeps getting paid, and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
False. Lies. False.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of.
I love that he's continuing to go with this. The Democrats hate it.
The age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Gig is up for the Democrats.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time.
Woo!
In the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
Actually, I think the last person to do it was a Democrat. I think it might have been Bill Clinton.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated.
It's like the green card.
And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs.
$5 million to become a U.S. citizen.
So while we take out the criminals,
as a
killers,
business
traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country.
Rip them.
We will now bring in hard-working, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
He's been pretty good tonight. He's been touting the things that he's doing instead of the things that the Democrats did to get us into this situation.
Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change.
Yes, we
For
did.
nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt.
What's crazy is Democrats used to be against all of this stuff, against all the bureaucracy, because a lot of it used to support the Republicans. Now,
meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
yes, corruption has never been so exposed as it is now. The Democrats getting exposed.
This change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Drain the swamp. You take my money when I'm in need.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Boom! You know, the majority.
Thank you. It's a very, very
Dang, what's
big
up with
part
all
of
the
our
press
plan.
crawling on
We
their
had Tremendous
knees?
success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits.
Let's see how many Democrats vote against it. Let's see how many Democrats vote against it. They all said they were for it when Kamala was doing it. Let's see how many of them actually vote against it. He paid his taxes, dum-dum.
Want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
Made in America, baby.
And by the way, we're
American
going to
jobs.
the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all
Big
three,
bada boom.
the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana. One of the
Wow.
largest anywhere in the
Is that what tariffs do? Democrats couldn't figure that out. All they got is propaganda and lies. Everything's going to be more expensive. It's going to raise the price by 25%. Nope. It's going to force them to open up manufacturing plants here in the United
which will
States.
hopefully go down as one
More
of the
jobs.
most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful.
Do you like President Trump's job? I sure
do.
do.
Most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
How about you?
If
Do
don't
you
make
like
your
President
product in
Trump's
America, however,
job
under the
performance?
Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using
You hear
them
that,
against
Canada?
those other countries.
All the
On
Canadians,
average,
all the Canadians that are
China, Brazil,
complaining, eh?
India, Mexico, and Canada. Have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto
tariff
tariffs
day.
higher than 100%.
It's tariff day, eh?
China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And
That's
we give
nuts.
so much help militarily and so
That
many
is
other ways
nuts.
to South Korea, but that's what happens.
And
This
Democrats
is
are
happening.
complaining about his
Friend and
tariffs.
foe. This system is not fair.
It's
to the
gonna make
United
everything
States.
more
It never was.
expensive.
And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fools.
You guys can't even figure out what a woman is, and you're trying to tell this dude how to do his business with tariffs.
But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will
Tariff
tariff
back.
them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary
Hey, it's Cluck Schumer.
to
the
keep
chicken
us out
man.
of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
Hey,
Much has been said over the last
take a look at
3 months
Johnson's
about
cup.
Mexico
Is
and
it half
Canada.
full or half empty?
But we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens. And
What is wrong with the
destroying
Democrats?
nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of
They
dollars.
use
and
propaganda
The United States will not be doing that
to lie to their people, and then you go and you have conversations with their people. They can't answer basic questions. All they talk about is emotions and name calling.
into place. We have had,
And then when they realize that you're bringing facts, all they do they delete
in
you.
just the past few weeks.
They block
The
you.
combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they
Half a
wouldn't
trillion.
have done if Kamala had won. Announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much
Hey,
higher
what's
than
funny?
that,
I don't
believe.
think. Yeah,
Be
Kamala's
building
not
their
even
plants
there.
here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount.
She went from being
97% of the market. Announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Here we go, baby. Kamala Harris went from being the vice president of the United States to not even being allowed in the room.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money.
Amazing.
We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act and whatever.
Very amazing.
Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Mike Johnson, baby.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected.
Like we get a lot of our beef from Brazil.
Disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to
Field day.
farmers, have a
Farmers
lot of
having a
fun.
field day.
I love you too. I love you too. All going to happen.
Trump has love for farmers.
And I have also imposed a 25%.
Oh, don't fall asleep. We got Sleepy Joe in the house.
Because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country.
The Democrats are so old, they're all falling
Here
asleep.
today
It's
is a
past their
proud
nap time.
American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama, Jeff Denard, has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raised 7 children with his beautiful wife.
Dang!
And over the years,
That's a busy
provided
boy
a
right there.
home for more than 40 foster children.
Whoa!
So great job.
That's a very busy boy.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're
There'll
okay
be
with
a
that.
little
It won't
disturbance.
be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
She looked like she wasn't expecting that. Good job, Trumpy. Always give the wifey a shout out.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act.
Take It Down Act.
This is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much.
Christy Nome.
Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is a terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill.
Somebody take the lemons away from him.
Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were
21 million.
human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
MS-13, Nicaragua.
And I want to thank Tom Homan.
There he is, the man of the hour, Tower of Power.
Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley the best
Yeah,
in her
buddy.
class, admired by everybody.
He's here,
Went out
dressed
for a
in black.
jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously
Nope.
attacked, assaulted,
No, she's
beaten,
dead.
brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the
must
United
be her
States
mom dressed
under
in
the
black.
heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as the 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
She was just one of many, many people killed.
It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
I got him on the
Thank you
smile.
very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Ever recorded. Tom Homan. Tommy Homan's the GOAT. Greatest of all time.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Boom! Boom! Dropping bombs on him. Wow. Damn. Gig.
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew
What, no
illegal
false
aliens
signs?
over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight
eating
of
the
migrant
dogs.
occupation and corruption.
They're
like
eating the
nobody's ever
cats.
seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are two illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through
Democrats.
their ridiculous open border. the death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of
We
her
are
mother
witnessing
and
the
family
death of
touched our entire
the
nation
Democrat
greatly.
Party. This
Alexis,
is the
I
death
promised
of the
that we
Democrat
would
Party.
always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Where's the
very
pen?
much. All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world.
When they
known
dumped
as
their
Tren
prisoners
de
here,
Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along
Terrorist
with
group.
MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
and the Democrats release them into your communities. Hispanics, blacks, your communities. All the idiots who keep voting for them.
Officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration.
Stop
But now every
voting
last one
for
will be
them.
rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or if they're too
Their
dangerous,
entire purpose
put in
is to
jails, standing trial,
destroy
and
this
disgusting, 'cause we
country
don't
from
want them
within.
to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them,
Boss, the plane.
Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took, and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
He loves Trump. He loves him some Trump. Look at him.
Thank you, Roberto.
Biden tried to say he had the support of Border Patrol.
And I actually
Propaganda.
my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate
The Democrats
south
are
of our border
nothing
is
but
now
criminals.
dominated entirely
Their
by
party should be
criminal cartels that
disbanded
murder,
from this
torture, and
country.
exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Let's go get them. Well, there's a couple of Democrats clapping. Are those Democrats clapping?
Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever.
Kristi Noem.
But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
Get her done.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics.
Yeah, point to them.
Jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck.
Cash.
Wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi.
Good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash.
There's Cash. Cash, man, step up to the plate. What have you done since you got in there, man? Step up. Where's Epstein Files guy?
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them.
And Pam, man, what the heck was that? Releasing the Epstein Files to a bunch of bloggers.
They so dearly deserve.
Influences on X.
They have such a
and it was all
hard, dangerous job.
everything was redacted.
Dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
Hey, how many of you think that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel need to step it up quite a bit to catch up with what everybody else is doing? They're not doing their jobs right now, and everybody needs to start shouting it out.
Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was
Democrats,
a real bad one.
Again.
The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and
I love that Trump's
repeat
calling out all
offenders
these
off our
people.
streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains.
Making
They
it
hit
about the
over
people.
head, back of the head with baseball bats.
The people who have been
gotta get 'em
affected
outta
by a
here.
horrible,
I've already
horrible
signed an
regime.
executive order requiring a mandatory
The Biden
penalty for
administration was
anyone who
definitely one of the
murders a
worst
police officer.
ever.
And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law. I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Let's see. Are the Democrats clapping? Are the Democrats clapping? They need to show the Democrats.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Boom. The Democrats are just sitting there. The Democrats are just sitting there.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him.
What's going on?
And tonight,
Boiling
DJ,
Point
we're going to
podcast in the
do
house.
you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent
Stacey
of the
Burke,
United
best
States
president
Secret
ever.
Service.
Let me see how I can do that. Hang on 1 second. Trying it out. Copied. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sending it over to you. It's coming over in Instant Messenger.
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services,
The man.
Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
The man.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been
Right.
How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong.
Hey, what's going on, JD?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad.
I can't even believe these numbers. 1 in 10.
I saw you live, so I figured I'd hop in.
10,000.
Oh, absolutely.
And now it's 1 in 30.
Were you able to put out to your audience?
Think of that. So
I can.
Did it let you do it?
And Bobby and all of the people
Yeah.
that are working with you. You have the
Awesome, awesome.
to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck.
Well, at least Facebook and YouTube. Rumble takes a little bit more.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from
Trump's actually doing pretty good tonight, like talking himself up instead of just bashing on the Democrats.
Little John and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned.
Yeah.
Making it really about all the people that were affected by the horrible administration,
the
Biden administration.
Yeah, he's absolutely done a great job with that.
Them pronoun, actually. All without telling January.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I should have my microphone so I don't have too much of an echo on your end.
Against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
How'd you like the kid becoming a Secret Service agent?
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really
Stories
cool.
like this
And I do agree with you. He's been doing a great job at showcasing the the echo went away. Did we figure it out? Or maybe it was just because you had yourself muted for a minute. I thought he did a great job tonight at
There we go.
showcasing,
that engages in the
like you
sexual
said, like
mutilation
the issues
of
from
our
the
youth.
previous administration and using that to hype himself up and not just blaming the Democrats, like actually demonstrating.
Right.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lives.
Oh, he's looking
of any
right at the
child
Democrats
trapped
while he's saying this.
in the
I'm
wrong
actually a few minutes ahead of you, so I'm actually glad I jumped in right here. What he's talking
Yeah,
about right now.
I had a
And our message
like I don't know if you can see on the bottom here. I've got a little bit of a lag.
perfect exactly the
That's
way
God that's
made
what a
you.
lot of people can actually follow, watch it on live, and you don't have to worry about everybody's streaming a few seconds long.
I had a bit of a lag that was going on, and it lasted for a little bit. But plus, I had a commercial.
Schools and
Oh,
out
yeah,
of
yeah.
our military, and
Um,
it's already out, and it's out of our
What
society.
he was
We
talking
don't
about
want it.
schools and stuff.
Wokeness is trouble.
It's real good. I think
Wokeness
that
is
is
bad.
important.
It's
What he's
gone.
doing
It's
is,
gone.
the Department of Education
feel
telling him
so
that
much better
DEI
for it.
and
Don't we feel better?
unified bathrooms and accepting this kind of mental illness in the schools is
Our
not going to allow
service
that.
members won't be activists
Well,
and
like
Right.
podcasts can fall around
ideologues. They will be
school
fighters
boards.
and warriors.
And that's a big thing right now.
For our country. And Pete, congratulations.
Parents are actually trying to fight it, and this will help. What President Trump has been doing with that will help.
I think like right here, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel need to step it up a lot.
And he's not big into the
They're kind of lagging as far as like everybody else in the administration seems to be going lights out right now, and
15 years.
I don't know what that stunt was the other day where Bondi released the Epstein files, phase 1, whatever the heck that was, to the influencers on X. That was a just stupid move.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly.
I'm sure he wasn't happy with it.
couldn't recruit.
I wouldn't have been happy with it.
Recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever.
Did you
had.
get to
It's a
see?
Tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
Did you get to see what was in those Epstein files?
They love being in our military.
No, I have not had the chance to look at the other CDLs. Yeah.
Dude, it was a bunch of freaking every page was redacted.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't see that.
It was so thick. Every single page was redacted.
Tonight, by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that Call of Duty.
Why on earth would she even release that if they weren't ready to?
All
Yeah.
wear the uniform.
That's what didn't make sense to me. When I saw it was redacted, I was like, oh my.
Who was also a
What was the point of
Los Angeles
that
County
then?
Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say.
Look at that. Oh, I'm a little bit ahead of you. In a few minutes here, the Democrats are going to be seen actually clapping for something.
I can't believe the Democrats were sitting on their hands when the little kid was up there.
I can't believe the Democrats' behavior during a lot of this, to be quite honest with you. They must have been whispering to each other.
This dude looks like he should be playing football.
I'm a few minutes ahead of you, so this is they're about to have a shot with Democrats actually applauding here in a few minutes.
Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into.
Elon right behind him.
I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
I'll tell you what. Having some of the people on to demonstrate about the illegal immigration was, I think, clutch.
So many people were affected by it. In particular, all the gangs. And then you had the Democrats releasing all of these criminals into the cities, into black and Hispanic neighborhoods.
The most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Golden Dome. I'm telling you, man.
Are the military normally not applaud or anything during?
The military and the Supreme Court have to stay
Stoic.
Yeah.
The technology, it's incredible, actually.
It makes sense. Because I'm like, because they've said a lot of things that I would imagine they'd be applauding for, and I haven't seen them. I'm like, It makes sense.
The military and the Supreme Court have to remain unbiased.
Yeah, unbiased, impartial.
This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before.
I'll tell you what, Israel's dome works pretty effectively.
Yeah, but my biggest issue with that is right now they are stockpiling missiles to the north of Israel. And they have so many missiles that stockpiled there right now. When they do decide to attack, they're going to launch so many missiles that it's going to absolutely overwhelm that system.
We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
He's still talking about the Panama Canal, dude.
Yeah.
Just today, a large American company.
I mean, listen, it was I'm all for generosity and stuff, but for us to have built that canal and
$1.
Yeah, that's. I'm sorry.
The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building.
38,000 workers died building that.
Of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work.
They don't build them
Snake
like that
bites
anymore,
and
do they?
mosquitoes. That's nuts.
25%.
They don't build them like that anymore, do they?
The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's.
Well, whoever thought to build a trench between
It was given away
oceans?
by the Carter administration for $1.
Yeah.
but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
I wonder what Panama is thinking right now.
If they're smart, thinking, what kind of deal do we offer Trump so that he doesn't just take it over?
Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame.
Marco Rubio sitting there going, this dude's going to make my job so hard.
Think of it.
Yep.
100 votes. You know,
Marco Rubio.
actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that, or I'm very concerned about it. But he's
a neocon.
Great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job.
Trump needs to watch him.
That
That dude is he's a throwback to the Bush era, dude.
Also have a message
We
tonight.
booted a lot of those rhinos out. We booted a lot of the neocons out.
We strongly
He is a
support you
neocon.
determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it.
So far, so good with him, though.
International world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
One way
We will keep you
or
safe.
another.
We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a
Dude,
very small
we're
population.
gonna take Greenland. We're gonna take the
Large
Panama Canal.
for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the
Dude, they need to show the squad right now.
disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Show Ilhan Omar.
They were withdrawn.
You know
It
she's
is
in the
way
crowd.
They withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Define on his way here. You got a room full of all the members of Congress.
The doors open up behind us.
He's right now on his way here. Look at, they're on their cell phones. What disrespectful pieces of garbage. They are trash.
And I want to thank
Trash.
the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This
Pakistan.
was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people.
I didn't know
who
we
so
had
badly,
extradition
over
with
42 people,
Pakistan.
so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people.
Grossly
many of the-
incompetent.
Parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and
It wasn't a call, it was a
everybody was
big
on the
call.
line, and
Yeah.
they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
Dude. I don't know what you believe about the end of days, man, but I'll tell you what. I think Trump is going to help broker the peace deal between Israel and Iran.
Now we're going
And whoever comes up in Iran with that peace deal,
for the entire region. A lot of things
be careful if they label him the Mahdi.
Talking about that so much lately with everything.
Their
going
Mahdi
on
is
with
going to be our
Ukraine and Russia.
Antichrist,
A lot
100%.
of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal
Gotta love that
conflict.
there's a
Democrats
war
undermining
across the
him.
world.
The
You gotta love
United
that there's
States
a war
has
across
sent
the
hundreds
world
of
that we
billions of
divide
dollars to
for
support
this country.
Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Hey, any Democrats that are listening right now, you can sign up to go fight in Ukraine's military now.
That's true.
Zelensky just passed a bill
Keep it going for another
and made it possible for American citizens to volunteer for the Ukrainian army and fight for Ukraine.
Yep.
I say
they
stop
stand
being keyboard cowboys and go enlist. Hey,
Absolutely. I think go enlist and help fathers and sons being ripped from their families right now. Being
I
trapped.
think they should volunteer their children.
But I wanted to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion.
350 billion.
That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us.
And theirs was a loan.
But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by
Defending their own borders.
dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from
Dude, Dems are pissed.
Zelensky.
Dude, man, they all look
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come
They look
to the
unhealthy.
negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do
He said last.
how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its
Of course, the liberals reference that he just reversed the third person. All you're doing is reading teleprompter somewhere made a typing error. He just read it back by accident.
Convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter. Just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had
I see you
serious
watching
discussions with
news. I
Russia
have the CNN
and received
on.
strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that
Yeah, I'm
be-
on Newsmax.
Wouldn't that be
I encourage everybody not to watch it anywhere else other than do that.
To watch it on CNN? Look at this guy with his Ukraine tie.
If you watch it anywhere else other than CNN.
Oh, yeah. I usually broadcast on Newsmax.
It's time to stop this madness. It's
Probably
time to
easy,
halt the killing.
especially if you're not getting
It's
hit
time
on
to end
YouTube
this
stuff
senseless war.
for
If you want to
copyright
have
error.
wars, you have
That's
to
probably
talk
best.
to both
If I did it with CNN,
Nearly
we already
40
been
years
removed.
A history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration.
Dude, is she like,
lifted a finger to help
is that
him.
real?
They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last
I'm a
summer,
little
I
ahead
promised
of you.
his
This is
95-year-old
good.
mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely
Bringing somebody
back
home. I'll be glad we bring her.
He's like, did he just call it a penal colony?
They are here tonight.
Oh, they're right behind Melania. Man, she's 95.
Yeah.
Dude, she looks in better shape than Biden.
The next segment is great segment. What do you got coming up next?
Oh, let's hear. Let's turn it up. Oh, man, Adam Schiff. The shifty shift. Oh no, look out! Look out! That's a Hitler! Did you see him? He just saluted Hitler.
We are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us.
That was a Nazi salute.
As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the
Butler,
past
Pennsylvania.
78 years.
Hey, that's all by
I just happened to go there last July 13th.
Butler, that's where he got shot in the ear.
That was not pleasant.
That's what's coming next.
And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later,
Somebody tried to put a bullet in his head.
gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many
The
thousands.
propaganda morons on the left are like, that was staged.
But some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father.
Yeah, they
and above
staged
all,
his
a
death.
protector.
Yeah.
When the sound of
Stupid,
gunshots
stupid
pierced
idiot
the air,
morons.
sound.
Dude, the Democrats have no brain whatsoever. Zero common sense, nothing going on
And
upstairs.
shielded them from the
Let's
bullets
ask his family,
with his own body.
Shielded.
Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
Come on, get the camera on the down. Are they standing, please?
Are the Dems standing?
No, it looks like some of them.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before.
Majestic.
I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
They need to show the Democrats, man.
No.
I wish there was a feed that just went to them.
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds.
Did the astronauts touch the moon?
All dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation.
He's looking right at the Democrats.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My feet that I have above my computer is a little bit heavy.
We will never let anything happen to our beloved country.
I think we're about to see things walk out of the house.
Fighters and survivors, our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age, these workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities, these warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty, and it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars. And
oh, where's Elon? Where's Elon? I knew he was prepping it for Elon.
Oh, right here, watch. In the bottom left. They might cut away that shot. I'm looking at that. I'll turn up and walk out of the end of this speech.
I saw a couple of them walking out.
Discover the unstoppable power of the American spirit, and we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day we will stand up and we will fight for the country our citizens believe in.
Fight. The Democrats are hating on this, man. They trickle out. They're starting to trickle out.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America
is upon us.
Just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before.
It'll be like Trump's hair.
God bless you, and God bless America.
What
Now the Democrats
are the Democrats forced to be there? Like, do they have to show up?
I don't think so, because there's a couple that didn't show up at all. But as a party, aren't the Democrats kind of wavering at this point anyway? I mean, the election showed 60% he won by the largest margin in history. All this discovery of fraud leads back to the Democrats, kind of shown that actual Democrats have been elected with this money. The end of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, the Democrat Party is it's garbage. I mean, it is absolute garbage. You think about it. This party was the party. Not one person voted to end slavery. Not one. Every single every single person out there thinks that the Republicans are the ones who started the KKK. No, it was the Democrats. It was the left. They were the ones in control of everything down south.
And CNN's headline already digs in on divisive agenda with the quote, we are just getting started. Jake Tapper, you are just amazing commentator on CNN, and you should your job or ever.
He's a tool. He's a tool bag. Hey,
he is so ignorant and so obviously biased. It's disgusting.
Why is it that Democrats don't know history? Like all they want to do is erase history, right? They want to erase everything that happened previous so that people forget who they are. What I don't understand is when you have all the plantation owners as Democrats, right? Not one of them, not one voted to free the slaves. So every single one of them was for slavery. Every single one of them started the KKK. You had Robert Byrd, who was an exalted cyclops in the KKK. Joe Biden, who did his eulogy. And you have this false idea saying, oh, but there was a big flip. There was a big flip that happened. There was no flip that happened. That is all propaganda. That is all lies, dude. All lies. When did Republicans become Democrats? They didn't. Joe Biden was still Joe Biden, the Democrat. He was still the guy who put in the newspapers, they had in the newspapers him saying that he didn't want his kids going to a racial jungle. You know, how can they not figure out that the Democrats are still the racists? They are the racists. And what do? They point at everybody else saying, oh, these are all the racists over here. They're the racists. Look over there. They're the racists. Yet, what do? They take gangs from other countries and bust them up here, put them into Black and Hispanic communities, creating chaos, gang fights, drugs, loading up the communities, absolutely destroying the school systems. And how do they control the population of Blacks and Hispanics? They do it with what? Things that make it so that you can't have babies and reproduce. Look at who one of their big idols was. One of their biggest idols is Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger used to go around to KKK rallies pitching her ideas on birth control for non-whites. You know, the whole thing, she got her money to start the American Birth Control League, which became Planned Parenthood. She got her money to start the American Birth Control League. She got that from a grant from the Rockefeller Foundation, and the grant was a eugenics grant. If you don't know what eugenics is, eugenics was started by, it was a concept by Francis Galton, who was the cousin of Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin, who wrote the book on the origin of species, what most people know the book as, the first name being On the Origin of Species, but the real name of it, that's really only the first half of the first name. It actually has two names. The first name of the book is actually On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, which is where we get natural selection from, but you have to open the book to see what the actual other name of the book is. And the other name of the book was The Preservation of Favored Races.
Yeah.
Evolution. What's that?
That should also go and research where Planned Parenthoods were targeted. The first ones were set up. They were
in
all
their
in
cities.
their cities and black communities, minority communities.
Is it strange? I mean, it's pretty obvious that blacks and Hispanics make up 28% of the population of the United States, yet we account for 70% of the abortions. That is disgusting.
Yeah.
And these fools can't figure out that it is a population control for minorities.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin is going to give a rebuttal. I love how they started this. The president speaks to someone from our party to speak out and say everything opposite.
Well, usually this would be called the State of the Union, but because the State of the Union is horrible, you don't want the president of the United States coming on going, the State of the Union is horrible. So they just said that he addresses a joint session of Congress.
Yeah, I thought that. I was like, wait a minute, we should be getting State of the Union or something, but
it was all leftovers from the Biden administration. It was I don't know, man. The whole deal with that, the whole deal with the Biden administration, all they did was do things to absolutely destroy this country. What gets me, they say we can't have IDs to vote because blacks and Hispanics can't get IDs. How freaking racist is that? How racist is it to say that because I'm Hispanic, I can't get an ID?
Yeah. They can't afford it. You can't afford it. You can't afford it, Dave.
Absolutely insane, dude. But this is what they do.
Although I can't
this is what they do.
According to them. Remember, I receive assistance, so I'm assistance. So I can't afford it either to them. I can't get there.
Yeah, you're in with us. We're too dumb. We can't use computers. We don't know how to get online.
Online, what is that?
Yeah, that's what they think, dude. This is what white liberals think.
Oh, here she is. I got her on CNN.
Let me see if I can.
She's a brand new senator.
Let's see if I can find her on here.
I can get it up on my screen.
Rebuttal. What'd you say? It's on CNN? I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I got it on. I can get it on CNN.
Let's see. Donald Trump. Oh, wait. I think I got her.
You can find that same sense of patriotism here in Wyandotte, Michigan.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
It's a working class town just south of Detroit. President Trump and I both won here in November. It might not seem like it, but plenty of places like this still exist across the United States. Places where people believe that if you work hard and play by the rules, you should do well and your kids should do better. It reminds me of how I grew up. My dad was a lifelong Republican, my mom a lifelong Democrat. But it was never a big deal because we had shared values that were bigger than any one party. We just went through another fraught election season. Americans made it clear that prices are too high and that the government needs to be more responsive to their needs. America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way. And we can make that change without forgetting who we are as a country.
You guys had your chance.
So that's what I'm going to look
at. You had your chance to make change.
Because whether you're from Wyandotte or Wichita, most Americans share three core beliefs: that the middle class is the engine of our country, that strong national security protects us from harm, and that our democracy, no matter how messy, is unparalleled and worth fighting for. Let's start with the economy. Michigan literally invented the middle class, the revolutionary idea that you could work at an auto plant and afford the car you were building. That's the American dream. And in order to expand and protect the middle class, we have to do a few basic things. We need to bring down the price of things we spend the most money on: groceries, housing, healthcare. We need to make more things in America with good-paying union jobs and bring our supply chains back home from places like China.
Good paying union jobs. You guys lost your unions.
They need to invest and create the jobs of the future. And we need a tax system that's fair for people who don't happen to make $1 billion. Look,
They pay the majority of the taxes, you idiot.
but it's always important to read the fine print. So, do his plans actually help Americans get ahead? Not even close. President Trump is trying to deliver an unprecedented giveaway to his billionaire friends.
You guys said that 4 years ago and you were wrong.
Belong to the wealthiest in America.
They're running with
That,
the same
he's gonna
play.
make you pay
The
in
same
every part of
play.
your life. Grocery and home prices are going up, not down, and he hasn't laid out a credible plan to deal with either of those. His tariffs on allies like Canada will raise prices on energy, lumber, and cars, and start a trade war that will hurt manufacturing.
He had the same tariffs
Your
8
premiums
years
for
ago.
Christmas
You guys said the same exact thing and everything went down.
without going after your health care. Meanwhile, for those keeping score, the national debt is going up, not down. And if he's not careful, he could walk us right into a recession. And one more.
Imagine the national debt's going up and all of the money that he just cut.
Retirement. The
How much money did you guys just spend in the last administration?
The president claims he won't, but Elon Musk just called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme.
So
of
did
all time.
everybody.
While we're on the subject of Elon Musk,
I released a whole
anyone in
piece
America
on
who is
all the
comfortable
different
putting his
groups
20-year-olds
and
using
media
mobile
organizations.
servers to
PBS.
pull through your taxes.
PBS had a whole thing on it. ABC, NBC, they all did pieces on the Ponzi scheme that is Social Security.
What they do with your private data. We need a more efficient government. You want to cut waste? I'll help you do it. But change doesn't need to be chaotic or make us less safe. The mindless firing of people who work to protect our nuclear weapons, keep our planes from crashing, and conduct the research that finds
Keep
the
our
cure-
planes from crashing. Nobody was fired from that. Everybody already knows that. It already came out. The reason the planes are having problem is because of DEI hires. People who are being hired for the color of their skin instead of their qualifications for the job.
Someone who spent my whole career protecting our homeland, every country deserves to know who and what is coming across its border. Period. Democrats and Republicans should all be for that. But
They
securing
should.
the border
But
without
liberals,
actually
not
fixing
just here in the United
homeland
States, all over the world,
is dealing with a
opened up the
system that
borders.
needs.
It's a
America
liberal
is a nation of
plan.
immigrants. We need a functional system keyed to the needs of our economy. that
Nobody
allows
trusts
vetted
you
people to come and
anymore.
work here legally. So I look forward to the president's plan on that. Because here's the thing. Today's world is deeply interconnected. Migration, cyber threats, AI, environmental destruction, terrorism. One nation cannot face these issues alone. We need friends in all corners, and our safety depends on it. President Trump loves to say peace through strength. That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan.
Absolutely. Everything is from Ronald
The
Reagan.
spectacle that just took place in
Make
his
America
office
great again. Ronald
Reagan
Reagan.
must be rolling in his grave. We all want an end to the war in Ukraine, but Reagan understood that true strength required America to combine our military and economic might with moral clarity. And that scene in the Oval Office wasn't just a bad episode. of
Who
reality
are the
TV.
Democrats trying to teach moral clarity to?
He believed
They're allowing men to beat up on women.
and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions.
Kicking the Canadians in the teeth? Oh, you mean giving them the same tariffs that we're getting from them?
Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly doesn't think we should lead the world. Look, America is not perfect, but I stand with
This
the
is all
majority of Americans
propaganda,
who
dude.
believe we are still exceptional,
All of it.
unparalleled. And I would rather have
Yeah,
American
anybody who talks
leadership
about
Nothing
me
she
clearly
is saying is
confused.
real. Like everything that she just said is absolute propaganda.
something better.
Yeah.
Our
I'm
security
waiting for
and our
something to come
prosperity.
across that's actually real.
Our very system of government has been the aspiration of the world. And right now, it's at risk.
She said Elon Musk said Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. I just posted an article that had every single liberal publication since 1999 that is called Social Security a Ponzi scheme.
Also at risk when the president pits Americans against each other, when he demonizes those who are different and tells certain
You mean like what Joe Biden did?
Because America is not just a patch of land between two oceans. We are more than that.
Joe Biden called us a threat. He called MAGA a threat to democracy.
Those rights and the fight for them.
You don't get to say that anymore.
We're a nation of strivers, risk takers, innovators, and we are never satisfied. That is America's superpower.
Yet we are never satisfied with what you are putting out as a Democrat Party. You need to change. Nobody likes
You can't
you.
open a business without paying off a corrupt.
Well, they can't.
You can't criticize the guys in charge.
They have to. They have to come back to the center. If they don't come back to the center and lose all of those crazy, insane policies, they're going to lose everything.
Precious and worth saving.
The party's going to go defunct.
How do we actually?
I think they're already on that way.
I know a lot of you have been asking.
We'll
that
see on the
question.
next round of elections.
First,
Oh, there's too many of them that won't go back.
exhausted.
Too many in the party. They got to vote them out.
More than ever.
Just like we voted out the neocons, we had to redo our entire party over here. I was never a
Hold
Republican.
your elected officials, including.
I'm on the brink of calling myself a Republican only because we got rid of all the Republicans in the party.
That's as American as apple pie. Third, organize. Pick just one issue you're passionate about and engage. And doom scrolling doesn't count. Join a group that cares about your issue and act. And if you can't find one, start one. Some of the most important movements in our history have come from the bottom up. In closing, we all know that our country is going through something right now. We're not sure what the next day is going to hold, let alone the next decade.
Especially if you guys are trying to start World War III. Like the whole country doesn't know that you guys are undermining everything that Trump is doing to create peace.
Instability before. And
I've already seen people
ultimately,
of social media and stuff talking about it. I'm like, you guys are
every
crazy.
single time, we've only gotten through those moments because of two things: engaged citizens and principled leaders.
They think that they can win this. That they think that things are going to change if they can get everybody out in the streets.
Principled leaders who are ready to receive the ball.
Let's get them out in the streets.
The Democrats,
Just by watching, you qualify.
I want to see them burn their cities
I
down.
promise
Except
that
in
I,
Philadelphia, where it doesn't matter if
will do
or
everything in
Democrat,
my power to be the
so
principled
you're
leaders
saying
that you deserve. Good night, everyone.
There you have it. Michigan's freshman Senator Alyssa Slotkin giving the Democratic
A freshman senator.
I want to bring in Rachel Scott, who is in the chamber. Now, we see you, Rachel. We can hear you before you witnessed the whole evening. We covered the president.
I don't know. I'm not listening to this dude, though. He's an idiot. Absolute idiot. Absolute moron. Oh, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Great ideas.
It's been
come from anywhere.
let me get rid of this commercial here. I'll tell you what, since January 20th, it's been a hell of a ride.
Tonight. It was all looking forward. It was all uplifting and positive.
Here's Senator Slotkin. She's doing this from her home state of Michigan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alyssa.
Oh, we don't need to watch her again. What the heck? Slotkin.
Exchange. Our national correspondent Logan Raddick has more.
Well, President Trump is pausing military.
Hey, what'd you think of the Zelensky and Trump altercation?
I think that was very telling of what was actually going on before Trump won the election became president.
Zelensky was campaigning for Harris. They thought that they were just going to continue taking all of our money.
Yeah,
imagine that, though.
I know you've seen the
Imagine
videos
that.
posted them of the people in Ukraine being drafted.
I'm looking at all of the information that comes out for Ukraine, and I'm not kidding. All the Democrats have is propaganda. They don't go off of any type of fact whatsoever. They just repeat lies, and they repeat them over and over and over because they know that that formula makes the weak minds of the left believe it. The unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, unprovoked invasion. They think if they keep repeating the word unprovoked, that all of a sudden it becomes true. It becomes true in the mind of those who are weak and don't do their own homework. What was the whole reason that Putin invaded in the first place? He didn't just wake up one morning and say, hey, you know what? Let's invade Ukraine. Everything was about NATO. Biden pretty much dared him on the global stage. The agreement that we had with Russia not to advance NATO to their borders.
Yeah.
And Russia came out and said, if you expand to our border, we will attack Ukraine. And what does Biden do? Biden gets up and says, guess what? We're going to include Ukraine in NATO. The unprovoked attack Biden and the Democrats have been in Ukraine for over a decade. 2014, dude. 2014 under Barack Obama, he sent over a brigade. It was actually bipartisan. John McCain of all. This is where the neocons and the Democrats teamed up. That's why you have George Bush and Dick Cheney being embraced by the Democrats now. Think about it, dude. George Bush and Dick Cheney, they were Nazis when they were president, right? That's what the Democrats called them, Nazis. And then all of a sudden, the left embraces them. Why does the left embrace them? Oh, because the same entities that were pushing Bush and Cheney, Bush and Dick Cheney, Bush and Dick, the same entities that were pushing them to invade Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and Iran, the same entities that were pushing them to do that, the military-industrial complex, that same entity is the same entity that was pushing Biden. When Trump was president the first time, he said that the military brought him a plan to attack Iraq. To start war, not Iraq, Iran. To start a war with Iran, dude. And then he becomes president. Biden becomes president, saying, oh, Trump's going to get us into a war with Iran. Trump's going to get us into a war with Iran. When he turned down those plans, and then what happens? We come to the brink of war with Iran under Biden. These people do nothing but spout propaganda, and now we know that all they do is they funnel money through USAID. How much money got sent to Ukraine? You know what everybody forgets about? You know what nobody's talking about? Nobody's even mentioning FTX, dude. Do you remember FTX? FTX was the crypto investment company. That company.
Is that the one that robbed everybody?
Yeah, that was Sam Bankman-Fried, dude. Sam Bankman-Fried. He set up this company. He used people like Tom Brady and Giselle to get all of these investors in. And what did they do? They took everybody's money, and Ukraine, the money that we were sending over to Ukraine was funneling that money through FTX. And overnight, Sam Bankman-Fried becomes the number 2 donor to who? The DNC. The number 2 donor behind George Soros, who we now know got all of his money from USAID. This is a money laundering scheme that the Democrats have been utilizing to fund their entire campaign. And I'll tell you what, if you go back in time to like Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton had set up the Arkansas Finance Development Authority and was doing the same exact thing, funneling money to all these Democrats' campaigns.
Dude, I'm just scrolling on social media. And even people that I'm friends with are completely like I got somebody posting they have a problem with a kid. That's theater. What is wrong with people? It's just chaos.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, I did not expect to be scrolling through Facebook and see that somebody had a problem with cancer kid. I really didn't expect that. That's the one thing I actually expect. Oh yeah, it's theater.
It's disgusting. The Democrat Party has become disgusting.
It's mental illness. Everybody. That's one thing I've noticed. Everybody most of them.
It's seriously, dude. It's got to be all the hair dye.
Most of the people,
something is in the hair dye.
It's just I don't get it.
They've all got the purple hair and the like just crazy different colors of like the rainbow. Some of them even got rainbow head.
Or some other underlying issues.
But yeah, it's all mental illness. They can't even figure out what a woman is. What is wrong with you? Half of the stuff that Trump started with, you're like, why is our president even talking about this stuff?
You see these signs that the Democrats had? They weren't clapping, but they had the signs up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that's going to go over well with their base.
False, save Medicaid.
Yeah.
I believe that's what he's trying to do, save Medicaid by getting people off of it who shouldn't be on it. Like a 200 or 360-year-old person.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. So for some reason, like, how can the Democrats sit there and try to get people on board running when everything that the Trump administration is doing right now is accountability? They don't want any accountability because they don't want people to see where the money's coming from. I guarantee you, we are going to launch a probe into the money that was sent to Ukraine. And I can guarantee you that money from USAID was used against Trump.
And CNN's talking about prices.
Milk prices?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. There is definitely one problem that I know is going on in the communities right now, and it's only because for me, I've been embedded in the illegal community for almost the last decade, and a lot of those people are bugging out. They're out of here. They're out of this country. They're hightailing it. Now, what does that do for the industries that utilize them heavily for workers? In particular, you go to the Midwest, entire states that are farming states, and there's nobody showing up for work. That's a problem. That's a problem that they probably need to solve pretty quick. I don't know who Trump has on that, but if he doesn't have anybody on that, they should probably get on it. They should probably start handing out work visas. Maybe putting out something to the farmers to help their the people that have worked for them to get work visas. Otherwise, the price of food is going to go up. That's real. You know, I can sit here and be like, you know, go Trump, but the reality is there are some give and takes to some of the things that he's doing. Jeremiah, a bunch of losers on the left. Yeah, the Democrats did look terrible, dude. Absolute donkeys.
Yeah. They did not look good tonight.
I like that they kicked him out right from the get-go. Boom. Sergeant at Arms, remove the fool. Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on with them, man. They used to be a party that competed. Now they're a party of the like criminally insane. They are the fascists. They are the fascists.
I'm glad he brought up the stuff as well. Preventing DEI and that core curriculum from like being mandatory. Let the communities decide for themselves what they want. It makes it easier for parents to get out of the schools if they want. And if you live in a community, you should get involved with the local school board and see what they're teaching children. Because this is how we ended up in the first place.
I don't know. The Democrats, they've lost this country. You know, everybody that I talk to online, like you bring up even just a couple of facts and they can't answer to it. Everything that comes out of their mouth, is name calling. That's it. That's all they have. Name calling. He's a fascist. He's a bigot.
Dude, the amount of relationships,
and then they call you names.
Yeah, the amount of relationships, both professional and personal, that I've lost in the short amount of time that Donald Trump is president is insane. Like even relationships have nothing to do with politics because I am conservative Republican and Trump's supporter. They don't work with me.
Man, I had this one guy that I was dealing with. I was on his page. Getting him a whole lot of comments, right? Getting everybody commenting on stuff on his page, mind you. But because I was bringing facts and absolutely destroying everybody on there. Now, granted, you know how I make facts? I make my own posts, my America's Tribune posts. If they post something, an issue, like they talk about Elon Musk being like, he called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Well, so hasn't everybody. But you bring that up and they hate it. They absolutely hate it. Let's see. I think I have it on.
Yeah, it's fact checking the claim about Americans who are like over 100 or whatever that is on Social Security. I didn't see if they actually said what fact check was. Fact checking. I can't.
Hey, take a look at this, man. Take a look at this.
You about Social Security, and
this is
Elon Musk, Senator. So let me follow up with you on this very point, because
Elon Musk,
some
right?
Very pointed comments about.
This is NBC trying to attack Elon Musk, and she's like, "Oh, he called Social Security a Ponzi scheme," and she's got Bernie Sanders on here, right? The most socialist guy in all of Congress. And I'm thinking, I'm like, look at all of these. So all over the frontier, I put all of these publications that also did entire articles calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Right. So here,
Security, I referenced it earlier in the broadcast. This was to Joe Rogan. I'd like you to hear it and get your reaction on the other side. Take a look.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Basically, people are living way longer than expected. And
he's right.
There are fewer babies being born. So you have more people who
he's also right.
And that live for a long time and get retirement payments. So the future obligations.
So there's less money going into it, more money coming out of it.
The situation is right now for the federal government. It will be much worse in the future.
Yeah,
Senator President Trump says he's not going to touch Social Security. Elon Musk calls it a Ponzi scheme. Do you agree?
Social Security started was
no, I think what the wealthiest guy in the world just said, it's totally outrageous. That's a hell of a punt.
Higher.
So notice,
I believe it's
it's verse now. We have more people Social Security than actually work on stuff.
Right. There's not enough people paying into it.
Yeah. And CNN,
especially with the baby boomers.
CNN is talking about Social Security claims about the people who are older or whatever, and they're claiming that it's false. While at the same time, hold on a minute. This is where it's really why I love CNN. This is why I leave it on sometimes. You just can't make this stuff up. So they're saying that it's false because there is however many people Trump said that were actually on Social Security, okay? Or even if they were, they could have been listed as deceased, meaning they weren't receiving a check, even if they were still in the database. However, a study in 2019 found that I think it was 44,000 people over the age of 115 were still receiving checks. So while they're claiming what it says false, while at the same time claiming that there is fraud and that has been fraud. Oh, just not on the scale that the president is claiming. There is fraud, but not on the scale that the president is claiming.
At what point, now, let me ask you something. At what point did the president even claim how much fraud was taking place? All he said was how many people are in the system still.
That's true.
At that age. He didn't say that there's all of this fraud going on.
Yeah. But in fact, even if there's any fraud going on, meaning there should be investigations. If 2019 there were 44,000 people receiving checks who were dead, then that I think warrants an investigation, and it deserves another investigation at this point to see if that number has gone down at all. Gotta love CNN.
Absolutely crazy, man.
Gotta love CNN.
Oh, they're saying your mic is echoing. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. Again, with Dave, only with you. You're the only place I have trouble with an echo.
I wonder why here.
Just so everybody knows, Boiling Podcast, echoing is not something that we usually deal with. It's only when I join Dave here on our mystery.
Actually, I've listened to quite a few of your podcasts, and there were echoes, not necessarily with you. With you, but with your guests.
In the episode?
What's that?
Did I address this in the episode?
Well, I actually think I commented and said that he wasn't wearing headphones.
Yeah.
So if you're not wearing headphones and it's coming out of your
we've had some issues with that. People not wearing headphones and an echo.
Yeah, when you don't wear headphones, you can get an echo. I'm not sure why this would be echoing though. It you know what?
Yeah, because I'm wondering on your side.
I didn't normally I split your feed, so I can actually take my computer's audio and split the call and control your audio separate from my computer. if that makes sense. I have two separate dials on my switchboard to be able to do it. But I think I have to set that up. When I first started this this program, I was having some audio issues because of my my cable going from my my Rodecaster to my computer was loose, and I kept losing the audio at the beginning of this feed. And then every time I would lose audio, it would automatically mute my mic, and I would have to go into settings. And actually, let me try this real quick. Let's see. So I have Rodecaster Pro 2 on here, but maybe chat enabled.
That you have the echo from me.
Yeah, I just set it to a different. I set it to my chat instead of just my my main for Rodecaster, and what that might do, I'm not sure. Let me see if it split my audio.
Ponzi scheme went for the last 80 years.
So yeah, what it did is it put it into my chat
To
instead.
every eligible American.
Can you talk real quick and let me see if
sure.
I
What do
can.
you want me to say?
Oh no!
Problem
All it did is it
is that
moved
if
it
you
over to
don't
my.
make reforms
It moved it over
improve
to a
the
different
funding
channel. It moved
mechanism,
both of yous.
or the
I
next
actually have
9
to
years, the Social
go into
Security
the
Trust
settings
Fund
on
provides about 10%
StreamYard
of the
and
funds
separate
will
both
go
you
broke.
and. So take a look at this here. So let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. So America's Ponzi scheme. All of these are articles. This Social Security a Ponzi scheme. This is CBS News. This was done a while ago. Michigan State Law Review questioning Social Security as being the world's largest Ponzi scheme. Washington Times calling the Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Here's 1999, the Hoover Institute, the biggest Ponzi scheme on earth.
Ask you about Social Security, and you.
So, I mean, the Democrats rely heavily on nothing but propaganda, dude. Nothing but propaganda. Elon Musk says something and they have to harp all over it and pretend that it's never been said before. And hope that they know that their base is not going to go and try and research any of that. They just don't have the mentality for it. They're going to take whatever they trust their news source. It's no wonder why alternative news has overtaken all of legacy media. But I think I'm going to call this one, head in for a bit. And
Well, thanks for letting me join you for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know what I'll do every time I go live, I'll send out to you. And if you see it, you see it. If you come on, you come on. I'll just make sure I send you an invite.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. I'll look for him. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I mean, I've been pretty busy getting involved in local school boards and stuff like that, and that has been keeping me pretty busy.
Yeah, I see you on there. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I have definitely tuned into the Boiling Point podcast to watch your school board meetings. I'm not sure why I'm watching your school board meetings, but
yeah,
it's entertaining.
Yeah, it's good though because then it makes people think, oh, maybe I should be watching my own school board meeting or figuring out what's happening at my own school board. So that's where it's good at.
What I like is you guys know the people.
That happened totally just by me reaching out to people and networking. I got people that wanted to, and none of the local news stations are covering anything with the school. Not from anybody who's conservative. They're barely giving them any press whatsoever. So I'm actually just filling a void that doesn't exist.
Yeah, you got to get it out into the forums in your city.
Yeah.
There's got to be a city page for like on Facebook or.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing for local stuff to get out and help grow the brand and stuff. Grow more locally. Not that we're done doing national stuff. We're still going to cover national stuff, but
hey, local's where it's at, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the most change is.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, so I'm enjoying covering it, and no one else is, so doing what I set out to do with this.
No, that's awesome. I've seen it. It's good stuff. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you letting me come on, and let's get together and do some more stuff.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm always interested in your take on things, and you're always invited on anytime I'm on, man. I'll start sending you a link.
Yeah, we're still gonna do that alien episode too. Talk a little entertainment topics instead of politics all the time.
Absolutely, we got to do a sports show too. Maybe the draft.
No, seriously. If you really want to, dude, I want to. Our other sister show, Mayhem Media. That's where I do all the entertainment stuff, sports, TV, movies, whatever.
Nice. Yeah, we definitely got to do one for the football draft. That's
we are.
What, like 6 weeks away or something.
Yeah, we're doing a football draft. And we're going to be doing. I don't know. I really like to do weekly shows, but I'm not going to be able to do shows during the football season. But we're going to do like once every 4 games, like a quarter of the season. Every quarter of the season, we're going to be doing an episode, and we're going to be doing some live watch as long as the NFL doesn't crush us.
Nice. Hey, you do know the there was just a big trade, Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. And man, just I can't remember his name, but someone from the Browns wants to be traded. He doesn't want to stay in Cleveland. And Saquon Barkley is the highest paid running back in the NFL history.
As he should be.
Absolutely. Oh boy, talk about New York. Missing the plane on that one. Someone in the Giants organization had to have lost their job, right? Like someone got fired for that, right?
That is just nuts, dude. Nuts. Like, how do you let that guy out of your organization? He was the only guy that was any good in that organization, and you let him go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I just don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. Someone had to have gotten fired for that.
And how about Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to the Raiders?
Nope, I missed that one.
The Raiders. He's going to the Raiders with Tommy Brady. Tommy Brady and Pete Carroll.
It could have been the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings seem to be where quarterbacks go to finish off their careers. Oh man, that's hilarious.
That would be funny.
But let's get together.
Hey, isn't that the same exact path that Brett Favre took?
Yes. That's why
that would be hilarious, dude.
That's why I said about it. That's why I made the Minnesota reference, because he did. He went to the Jets. That's exactly what Brett Favre did, and then he went to the Vikings.
That would be funny.
Rodgers chose the Raiders. Well, if anybody, any team out there that needs something to help them, other than the Browns and the Jets, it would be the Raiders. But definitely let's get together and let's do some content. I'm definitely down for football. I'm planning a live watch along for the draft, maybe at least for the first night. I don't know about for the second or third night or anything, but at least for the first night, I'm thinking about doing a watch along. So let's get together and chat about that.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I got a lot more people in my feed that'll listen to some sports talk.
Cool, definitely. All right, man. Well, I'll bounce out of here. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man.
Talk to you.